But what I wanted to ask you is just what is, I know we've been talking about Hamas, but just what is Hamas? When did they come into power? Did Israel ever support Hamas? How did Hamas coming to power in Gaza lead to, or in some ways contribute to, October 7th?
Well, first of all, I'm not an expert on Hamas. I understand you'll be interviewing at some point Rashid Khalidi, and he's definitely the better person to ask a question like that. I have never concerned myself with internal Palestinian politics. First of all, because I don't know the language, I don't know Arabic. Second of all, I've not spent a significant time there. I've been there. I was in the West Bank every summer for a few weeks between 1988 and 1995. But I still wouldn't make any claims to a solid, if you want to call it, anthropological knowledge of the West Bank. I went occasionally to Gaza, just a few times. So I don't want to make any claims. I'll just speak to some basic facts. Number one, it was elected into office in January 2006. It was elected because it was running on a reform platform. The Palestinian Authority, exactly as you would expect, that's the institution that was established as a result of the Oslo Accord in September 1993, and then what's called Oslo II, September 1995. They created this Palestinian Authority. And as you can imagine, it was hopelessly corrupt, as it was intended to be. And it was enormously repressive, because the two went hand in hand. Namely, we give you money if you repress the Palestinians. And that was very clear. I mean, that was the purpose of the Oslo Accords, namely to establish an indigenous repressive apparatus, because Israel didn't want to do the dirty work. Yitzhak Rabin said, he was the defense minister during the first Intifada, but then he was the one who presided over the Oslo Accords in 1993 when he was prime minister. And he said, if we keep doing this, people are going to keep going to the human rights organizations, and they're going to complain to Amnesty, and they're going to complain to the Israeli High Court that we're carrying on in all these brutal, illegal ways, using torture and so forth. And he said, the answer is very simple. We'll get the Palestinians to do the dirty work. And that way we won't any longer be ostracized for the occupation. So they recruited the Palestinians. The Palestinian Authority was hopelessly corrupt and brutal. And so it's a funny, I mean, nothing is funny about the situation, obviously. But it's a paradox, because that was 2006. President Bush is in power. And one of his signature themes was what was called democracy promotion. You know, it's the aftermath of the Gulf War. We're going to promote democracy in the Arab world. They ordered the Palestinians to hold elections. Hamas didn't want to participate, because Hamas believed that these elections were just part of the Oslo process, which was designed to create a domestic authority to repress the Palestinians. So they didn't want to participate. And then they were urged, exhorted, participate. They participated, and to their shock, they won. They won the parliamentary election. They came into power immediately. Hillary Clinton, she said, the wrong side won. She said, we should have made sure that the Palestinian Authority won. We made a mistake. That's her notion of democracy.